Monster Hunter World is insanely popular right now, and as more and more players get through the beginning portions of the game, they start to finish up the high rank content and are about to begin their journey into the Iceborne expansion. I figured that it would be really helpful for me to make a video for some of you guys, both new and returning players, about some key things that I believe every single player should do before they take their first step into the Iceborne expansion. Now, the very first thing I recommend everyone to do before they jump into the Iceborne expansion and into Master Rank is to try to unlock all of the different mantles as well as the different boosters. As you play throughout the game, you'll be able to naturally progress and unlock some of these, but some of the more useful ones are hidden behind optional quests, and these can be a game changer in the endgame, so I really recommend you guys get all of these, or at the very least some of the more useful ones. Now, as you can see, some of these have a plus on their name as well as a glowing icon, which means that these have been upgraded, which is something that you can only do in the Iceborne expansion, and once again it is done through optional quests. So I would very much recommend everyone to start looking into their optional quests, and in the quest description look out for an asterisk where it says that the quest will unlock a new specialized tool, so that you can get your hands on the mantles and the cleansers as well. Something else I recommend everyone to do is to start unlocking some of the Canteen Ingredients, at least as many of them as you can, as these can be incredibly important, as they allow you to guarantee some food skills whenever you eat at the canteen, like for example Moxie, which can prevent you from dying, or Feline Black Belt, which will reduce stamina depletion rate, which will be an incredibly useful skill for weapons like the bow or the insect glaive. Now keep in mind that as long as you are in the lobby of someone that has all of the foods unlocked, you don't really need to worry about it. If they have all of these ingredients, so will you. But again, I would recommend you all to go into your optional quests and look out for a quest description that states that you will unlock a canteen ingredient whenever you complete that quest and get all of those done. The next very important thing is of course to get all of your Pelico Gadgets. As you can see, there are 6 different Pelico Gadgets, and some of these can be incredibly useful, with my personal favorite being the Coral Orchestra because of the buffs it provides. The way you unlock them may seem somewhat complicated, but it's actually very simple. So you basically just go onto each of the different maps and look out for the Grimalkine icons. So you basically just go up to them and you befriend them. Some of them will have quests associated with them to unlock the gadgets, but for the most part it's something that is very simple to understand, it's very quick to complete. Sometimes they may ask you to find some doodles on the walls or something like that, but again the main component is just finding wherever these icons are and going up to them and you'll be golden. The level cap of these Pelico Gadgets will increase in the Iceborne expansion and will give you access to even more powerful abilities, so again I recommend that you level them up, at least the ones you like. As you can see right here, I only have the Vigor Wasp as well as the Coral Orchestra. Those are the only 2 I have maxed out currently, and I am also leveling up the Plunder Blade, as these are the 3 gadgets I end up using the most. So you don't need to level all of them up, but it's also a good idea to unlock all of these, as you'll be able to call upon small monsters that you can ride and they'll be able to essentially take you anywhere, acting as a mount of sorts that you can ride on while you are consuming items, sharpening your weapon, etc. These guys can be very useful and come in very handy in one specific area of the Iceborne expansion, which I'm not going to spoil. So again, make sure that you get your Pelico Gadgets. Now the next thing I would tell everyone to do, and I think some of you are going to find this strange, but it is none other than the Kthoth Siege. In case you don't know, this is one of those multiplayer siege quests where you can take on a large elder dragon, and you're supposed to do it with a full lobby of people, all of them going with groups of 4 players, and as you break parts of Kthoth, you'll be rewarded with some of her weapons, which are fantastic. On top of that, the siege itself is very fun. It is a very unique experience that I think everyone should try at least. And with how many people are getting back into the game, you'll very easily be able to find lobbies of people farming this. But the other good thing about doing the Kthoth Siege is that despite it being a high rank quest, you can actually take the Kthoth weapons, which are all of these golden ones, as well as the ones titled Kiar. All of these weapons that you are seeing on screen right now, or at least most of them, if we go over here to the smithy, you'll see that the developers have decided to add something that basically makes it so that if you spend time farming Kthoth, you will still be rewarded in the endgame of Iceborne. as if we select one of these Kthoth weapons, you can actually upgrade it using some of the master rank Kthoth materials, and as you can see right here, it goes from a rarity 8 weapon with 648 attack to a rarity 12 weapon with 972 attack. It basically becomes an endgame weapon just like that. And in the case of some weapons, the Kthoth upgraded weapons are actually top tier, just below the Fatalis weapons, so again, I highly recommend that every single one of you at least try to do the Kthoth Siege. It is very much a very worthwhile investment, especially since you can sell the Kthoth materials for a lot of Zenny. Now my next point on the list would be some specific weapons that you can only get from event quests, and some of these are actually incredible. For example, by doing the Every Hunter's Dream event quest, you'll gain access to every Greatsword main's dreams, none other than the Wyvern Ignition. A beautiful greatsword that deals a ton of damage and is by far the best one you can use in the entirety of Monster Hunter World base game. And there's quite a few more that you can get from these event quests, so I will be listing some of them. You can get the Donny Craig Dual Blades, the Bristly Hammer, the Sapphire Star Lance, the USJ Armor Set and Longsword, and the actually quite powerful Dante's Devil Sword, which is a really cool charge blade. And I guess my next point would be to talk about all of the collaborations that you can do that are present in the event quests, going from, again, the Devil May Cry collaboration to the incredible Final Fantasy XIV collaboration, where you can get the Draken Armor Set, which is the very best in slot for pretty much every single melee weapon in the entirety of Monster Hunter World's base game, the Witcher 3 collaboration, which is also fantastic and has a guaranteed attack boost decoration if you complete a certain requirement, and then you have some smaller collaborations like for example the Mega Man and the Street Fighter collaborations. These are all very cool and fun novelties, they don't take a very long time to do. Now my next recommendation may seem strange to some, but it's actually to do a very specific event quest a few times, and that is none other than the Greatest Jagras. Now some of you may be wondering, why the hell is a Great Jagras a 9-star high rank quest? That doesn't seem right. After all, he's the first large monster you ever face in this game. Well, let me show you, it's for a very simple reason. If you come around here to the very first area and wait for just a little bit, you'll see a massive Jagras come into the place. And as you can see, he's gonna eat an Aptonaut, which is a bit absurd. But you're about to see the true reason why we're here. We don't really need to attack the Jagras, we're basically just waiting for him to do something. And there it is. As you can see, he basically just spits out decoration, which is just absurd. And so this is an amazing way for you to farm some very easy decorations very early on, before you even jump into Master Rank. So right now all we're basically doing is picking up as many decorations as possible. And since the Jagras is about to leave, we can simply return from the quest, make sure you don't press abandon, and by doing this you'll still be able to keep all of those decorations and you can just simply jump back into this event quest and farm some more. And let's see if we get something good. As you can see, we got 20 decorations just out of this one 3-minute quest, so if you are a new player or if you're starting a brand new save file, this is a very big recommendation for you to do just before you jump into Master Rank, because you're going to need some decorations to slot into all of those armor sets, and hey, you can take care of that very easily. There are some good farming methods in Master Rank as well, but it may take some time for you to get into those quests, so this is something that you can do very quickly before you get into the Iceborne expansion. Something else I recommend you guys to do, and this is not for the faint of heart, is to do what is called the Arch-Tempered Monsters. By that I mean the event quests where the Elder Dragons have an orange glow around them. By now I'm sure you guys have encountered a lot of tempered monsters, which are all of these that have a purple glow around them. They are essentially souped up, more powerful versions of already existing monsters, and they reward you with a bunch of decorations at the end of the quest. Well, the Arch-Tempered Elder Dragons are a very different matter. For one, they actually have a different moveset, so they become that much of a bigger threat, but on top of that, some of these quests may actually have a little bit of a gimmick, like for example the Arch-Tempered Valhazak, if you know, you know. But more importantly than that, they actually come with their own armor set, those being the Gamma sets, as you can see right here. And the skills themselves are actually quite good, some of these being some very powerful armor sets. They still end up lacking a bit behind the dragon armor sets, but I think they are very cool. As you can see, they sort of have this glow to them that you can change around their colors. You can especially see it in the Valhazak set. So if you are a completionist or if you want to take up a big challenge, then these are the quests for you, because again, this is supposed to be the hardest content that is present in the base game of Monster Hunter World. So if you go into the Iceborne expansion and you get some master rank gear, then you're going to be overpowered to take on these difficult challenges and they kinda lose their fun. So I really do recommend that everybody tries these out. I think they are a lot of fun, and if you beat all of them, you're definitely going to see yourself improve as a player. And my final recommendation for you all is to just basically collect layered armor. There's quite a few event quests that you can farm that will give you some layered armor that you cannot get any other way, so go ahead and complete those event quests. You definitely want to get this Wiggler head along with all of these cool and pretty fun cosmetics. Let me know if there's something else that you think I should have pointed out in this video. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section below or drop by my streams. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Dark Hero, and as always, happy hunting.